Miniature Market has thousands of board games at discounted prices. Click the direct link below to see all of those discounted games. Hello my friends, next week the Origins Game Fair in Columbus, Ohio is going on. It's one of the largest game conventions in the United States. And so I usually do some videos about them. So today I'm going to be looking at my top 5 most anticipated games. Now these are games that I have not yet played, but they look interesting to me. Thanks for Eric Martin and team at Board Game Geek putting these preview lists up so we know what's coming. Most of these will be for sale there. Some of them will be demo, but definitely ones that I'm excited about that you should possibly check out. Also, next week, if you don't want to miss it, subscribe down below. I'm going to be coming out with my top 5 games that I've already played that are releasing at Origins that are amazing. Those are ones that I already say get these or go try them at least. And by the way, even if you're not going to Origins, check all these out because some of these are for sale already or right around when Origins begins next week.
Number 5.
Okay, we're going to start this off. Number 5 is called Alibis. This is from All Play. Now, a suspicious lineup of supervillains lays before you and your team, and you're tasked to finding the true criminal. Now, you're secretly given information about 2 innocent suspects. Now, you'll be associating your 2 characters with a single one-word clue. Now, if everyone cooperatively does that correctly, you've found the culprit. Now, this has sort of a codenames feel, with everyone being a clue giver and trying to find the suspect that doesn't have any word associated with them. For example, All Play recently sent out an email where you could sort of play like a little round here. And so we were dealt numbers 2 and 10, corresponding to the words blackboard and kindergarten. Now, let's just say we came up with, we're looking for a clue that will associate both of these with each other, but not with any of the other rooms. So we choose to write classroom. Now, as you can see, the other words given by other players were cowboy, traffic, snowfall, squeeze, tourism. And you're trying to figure out which words those associated with. Is cowboy for horse and snake maybe? Or maybe for like horse and belt, because cowboys always have like big belt buckles. Is squeeze for lemon and drop? Because a lemon drop is like a drink, it's an adult beverage. Or maybe lemon and belt, as you sort of squeeze into a belt. So as you can see that there's lots of clever wordplay here. You're trying to figure out which is the one that's not associated with anyone else's clues, or single word clue. And so you play basically 3 rounds and you're trying to get the best points. So that's pretty much Alibis. I love sort of word association games. I like cooperative games, so this one makes the list.
Number 4.
This next one is called Cretaceous Rails. This is from Spielcraft Games. It wasn't clear if this one was going to be for sale for demo. It looked like maybe just demo only, but who knows? Sometimes people get conflicting information into those preview lists. Now in this, you're going to be traveling back in time to the Cretaceous era. You're going to be building a rail network into the jungle to add tourists, to see types of dinosaurs that they want to see, clearing the jungle so that they can see the dinosaurs better. You're going to be doing action selection using sort of an abstract grid of tiles. You're going to be placing in between 2 of them and getting both actions that it straddles. You're also going to be building a tableau and utilizing resources of the Cretaceous jungle to build the optimal combination of attractions for all, for special abilities and scoring. Now this one's on the list just because, wow, table presence wise, this thing looks amazing. All these huge dinosaurs of different colors out on the board. It's the jungle. There's all these tourists wait around, and I love route building. So like you're building your rail network to kind of pick up the tourists and bring them to the color of dinosaurs that they are, which is the ones that they want to see. But first you got to clear off the jungle, but by clearing it off, that allows you to do other things and allows you to move dinosaurs up tracks further. And so you're going to be specializing in sort of certain dinosaurs as you move them up the tracks. It's going to be worth more points at the end. But the cards, and you're going to be building up all these different cards and building a tableau and having all those give you different abilities and such. So it seems like there's like sort of a lot here. Not too heavy, not too light. Really cool table presence. I like worker placement. I like action selection. I like network building. This looks like a cool one. And this is Cretaceous Rails.
Number 3.
All right, this next one is Grand Central Skyport from 25th Century Games. Now, in this, you're going to be efficiently operating your airship station and attracting the most prestigious tycoons to your city. Now, you'll be attracting your new airships to your Skyport, and each airship has a color and an initial slotting movement. Now, you're trying to maneuver your airships to group them by color so that they stack and score increasingly more and more points. Now, there's a rondelle mechanism which facilitates the collecting of airships and taking actions, and you can be placing them connected to stations in light colors for set collections. Now, you've also got tycoons that give abilities and the puzzly abilities to move cars around. So I love rondelle games. I like set collection games. I like puzzly moving things around games where you're going to the rondelle spot, you're taking an action, maybe getting one of the ships, you're putting it at a station, and then based upon that, you can move it in different ways, and you're trying to line them up with the same colors. So it's like a little bit of an abstract game, but also the rondelle, but then also piggybacking with those tycoons, slotting those tycoons in to give you special abilities. So it seems like there's just a lot of the things that I like a lot, and it looks awesome. And 25th Century Games has just been knocking it out of the park with both production and the games that they've been choosing for the last handful of years. Pretty much anything they do, I'm interested in these days. And this one looks really clever. It has a lot of things I like. It looks great. They've got a great track record. So, my number 3 from 25th Century. Now, this one is supposed to be for sale there, from what I can gather. It's called Grand Central Skyport from 25th Century Games.
Number 2.
This next one is from Bezier Games. This one is, I think, the only one that's for sure going to just be a demo there. I think Cretaceous Rails may or may not be a demo. It wasn't obvious on the BGG site. This next one is going to be a demo because it's not coming out till, I believe, Eschenspiel. This is called The Game Makers, and this is from Bezier Games. And in fact, this game isn't even being officially announced to the public until today, the day this video drops. And so in Game Makers, you're going to be a board game manufacturer. You're going to be racing to build the greatest collection of classic modern board games. Now, you're going to build over 300 real-world games from over 100 real-world publishers. You can build Wingspan or Brass Birminghares, On Mars, Terraforming Mars, Android Netrunner, Ark Nova, Twilight Imperium, 4th edition, and many more. Now, you're going to be adding plastic components to your factory to unlock special abilities. You're going to be gaining workers to use your special abilities, or using the workers from your break room to gain game components. You're going to be using dice as your game components to fulfill game contracts or to increase your marketing. You're going to be using punch boards to expand your assembly line to give you further discounts on building games. You're going to be getting the necessary requirements to build a game and then add it to your display case where you place all 12 games you build over the course of the game. And the game has worker placement, where you have forklifts that get you more resources the further away it is from this wheel that spins. It's really clever. The further away you put it, the more resources you'll get, but the longer it's going to be until you get those. And then when the wheel turns, players get their resources. The game ends when you have a filled display of 12 games, and each game will score you on its own, but also certain goals having to do with like the type of game, like engine building, or cooperative, or war game, or set collection, and so on. And then how that game is arranged in the case with other games. So there's a little bit of an abstract component there too. Now this is designed by Ben Rossett. Now Ben he's one of my favorite designers. He's done Search for Planet X. He's a co-designer of that. Recently he was the designer of Fromage, which was my strategy game of the year last year. And actually the resource selection mechanism, which since it's simultaneous here and you're waiting, the longer you wait, the more you get. Similar to the way that you get resources in Fromage, which is a very clever game he created last year. He's also done Between Two Cities, Between Two Castles of Mad King Ludwig. I like the way he thinks, and Bezier Games does great production, and they tend to do very clever things as well. So for that reason, this is one that's really high up on this list, because it's just going to be so cool building the games that we play in this display case. But again, you're marketing. It's got an economic aspect. You're trying to upgrade your factory to make it more efficient and make things cost less and all this sort of thing. It just looks cool. Great theme. It's got the IPs of all these games in it. And that is The Game Makers from Bezier Games. You're going to be demoing it at their booth.
Number 1.
Now, before I get to the moment you've been waiting for, I want to let you know that Game Toppers upgrades every game you play, being the one table to rule them all with Game Toppers leg kits, dining covers, and premium game mats, and more. Their 5.0 Kickstarter is live now, and they found a way to deflate prices to pre-pandemic levels without sacrificing their quality brand. Now, in some cases, even by $200 or more, dropping the prices of shipping by as much as 50%, saving another $100 plus. Check out the new Ryan Lockett and Amber Sharf mats. Go to GameToppersLLC.com to learn more. My number one is actually an older game that has been out of print, at least in North America, for a long time. And it's a social deduction game called Feed the Kraken. I think it came out in 2022. So yeah, this is a social deduction game for 5 to 11 players. You're going to be sailors, pirates, or cultists secretly. Now, all of you are sitting in the same boat, but you want to navigate the boat into different directions. The loyal sailors must bring the ship safely to the mainland, whereas the pirates, they crave to secretly maneuver the ship into the Bermuda Triangle. Meanwhile, the crazy cultist is busy trying to convince parts of the crew to help him summon their dark lord, the Kraken, from the depth of the sea to save them all. Now, every turn the ship will sail in one of the 3 possible directions, but which one will it be? The current captain and their chosen lieutenant will study ancient sea maps and pass their often conflicting orders onto the chosen navigator, who has to make the final decision. Now, everyone can discuss how well that last navigation went, who's to blame for the current course, and who should be in charge of the future instead. You're trying to convince your enemies that it's in their best interest to make you the next lieutenant or navigator, and you can even draw your gun to become the new captain in an open mutiny. Now, the captain and lieutenant get to choose one of 2 cards to give to the navigator, who doesn't know who gave what, but then they get to decide where the ship goes. But if the navigator's in a tough spot, they can actually throw themselves off the ship, eliminating them from the game, but winning if their faction wins, if they don't want either card to go, because it's going to just be bad for them. Now, different spaces have different actions. The cultist can actually make someone else change to a cultist who wants the ship in the middle. Players can mutiny the captain with spending guns and resources. This is a very highly rated game. Some people have told me it's their favorite social deduction game. It is the 7th highest rated pure social deduction game on Board Game Geek. You know, it's in the same breath as Resistance Avalon, Battlestar Galactica, the Deception Murder Hong Kong. A lot of these games that are very highly rated social deduction wise, this is up there in that same breath. And I've been wanting to play this game for a long time, but it's been out of print. You had to buy it from Europe. All they had was the deluxe $100 edition, which I'm not spending $100 on a social deduction game, sorry. But they just are coming out now with this new Essential Edition, which from what I can gather is even a smaller, slightly less expensive than the basic version used to be. So it's their most cost-effective version. And it says that they're going to have it for sale at Origins. So this is Feed the Kraken, the social deduction game. All right, well, there are my top 5 most anticipated games at the Origin Game Fair. Next week, if you don't want to miss it, go ahead and subscribe below. I'm coming up with my top 5 games that I've already played that's releasing at Origins, because I get games early. I'm fortunate enough to get those. So I'm going to be letting you know which games I've actually played that are awesome that you need to check out there. This has been the Game Boy Geek, breaking down barriers, growing relationships through board games, by helping you find actual new love.